Hey guys, this is part 2 of Let's Read With Me The Hunger Games. So, we left off saying about how she was saying all these weird words and stuff, and she said, the last sentence was, Prem, I began to repeat my words, and then where would we be? So, starting from there, and sorry if I sort of make weird noises because I have a really bad tummy ache happening right now. Bird, tummy ache. I'm super tired and I have to go somewhere at 7 p.m. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. So, continuing, as in the woods waits the only person with whom I can be myself. Gale. I can feel the muscles in my face relaxing, my pace quickening as I climb the hills to our place. A rock ledge overlooking a valley, a thicket of berry bushes protects it from unwanted eyes. The sight of him waiting there brings on a smile. Gale says I never smile, except in the woods. Hey, Catnip, says Gale. My real name is Katniss, but when I first told him, I had barely whispered it, so he thought I said catnip. Then when this crazy lynx started following me around the woods looking for handouts, it became his official nickname for me. I finally had to kill the lynx before he scared off game. I almost regretted it because he was in bad company, but I got a decent price for his pelt. Look what I shot. Gale holds up a loaf of bread with an arrow stuck in it, and I laugh. It's real bakery bread, not the flat, dense loaves we make from our grain rations. I take it in my hands, pull out the arrow and hold a puncture in the crust to my nose, inhaling the fragrance that makes my mouth flood with saliva. Fine bread like this is for special occasions. Still warm, I say. He must have been at the bakery at the crack of dawn to trade for it. What did it cost you? Just a squirrel. Think the old man was feeling sentimental this morning, says Gale. Even wished me luck. Well, we all feel a little closer today, don't we, I say, not even bothering to roll my eyes. Prem left us cheese. I pull it out. His expression brightens at the treat. Thank you, Prem. We'll have a real feast. Suddenly, he falls into a capital accent as he mimics Effie Trinnick. The the maniacally upbeat woman who arrives once a year to read out the names at the reaping. I almost forgot. Happy Hunger Games. He plucks a few blackberries from the bushes around us. And made the odds. He tosses a berry in a high arc toward me. I catch in my mouth and break the delicate skin with my teeth. The sweet tartness explodes across my tongue. Be ever in your favour. I finish with an equal verve. We have to joke about it because the alternative is to be scared out of her wits. Besides, the capital accent is so affected, almost anything sounds funny in it. I watch as Gale pulls out his knife and slices the bread. He could be my brother. Straight black hair, olive skin. We even have the same grey eyes, but we're not related, at least not closely. Pardon me. Most of the families who work the mines resemble one another this way. That's why my mother and Prem, with their light hair and blue eyes, always look out of the place. They are. My mother's parents were part of a small merchant class that caters to officials, peacekeepers, and occasional scene customer. They ran an apothecary shop in a nicer part of District 12. Since almost no one can afford doctors, apothecaries are our healers. My father got to know my mother because on his hunts he would sometimes collect medicinal herbs and sell them to her shop to be brewed into remedies. She must have really loved him to leave her home for the same. I try to remember that when all I can see is the woman who sat by, blank and unreachable, while her children turned to skin and bones. I try to forgive her for my father's sake, but to be honest, I'm not forgiving the type. I'm not a forgiving type. Gale spreads and Oh, sorry. Gail spreads and oh my god, sorry. Gail spreads the bread slices with the soft goat cheese, carefully placing a basil leaf on top. Oh my god, I'm useless. Carefully placing a basil leaf on each while I strip the bushes of their berries. We settle back in a nook in the rocks. From this place we are invisible, but have a clear view of the valley, which is teeming with summer life. Greens together, roots to dig, fish iridescent in the sunlight. The day is glorious with a blue sky and soft breeze. The food is wonderful, with the cheese seeping into the warm bread and the berries bursting in our mouths. Everything would be perfect if it was really a holiday. If this really was a holiday. If all the day of Mint was roaming the mountains with Gale, hunting for tonight's supper, but instead we had to be standing in the square at 2 o'clock waiting for our names to be called out. We could do it, you know, Gale says quietly. What, I ask. Leave the district, run off, live in the woods. You know, you and I, we could make it, says Gale. I don't know how to respond. The idea is so preposterous. If we didn't have so many kids, he adds quickly. They're not our kids, of course, but they might as well be. Gale's 2 little brothers and a sister, Prim, and you may know as well throw in our mothers too, because how would they live without us? Who would fill their mouths that are always asking for more, with both of us hunting daily? There are still nights when the game has to be swapped for lard or shoelaces or wool. Still nights when we go to bed and our stomachs are growling. I never want to have kids, I say. I might if I didn't live here, says Gale. But you do, I say, irritated. Forget it, he snaps back. The conversation feels all wrong. Leave. Leave? How could I leave Prim, who's the only person in the world I'm certain I love? And Gale was devoted to his family. We can't leave, so why bother talking about it? And even if we did, where did this stuff about having kids come from? There's never been anything romantic between Gale and me. When we met, I was a skinny 12-year-old, and although he was only 2 years older, he already looked like a man. It took a long time for us to even become friends, to stop haggling over every trade and begin helping each other out. Besides, if he wants kids, Gale won't have any trouble finding a wife. He's good looking, he's strong enough to handle the work in the mines, and he can hunt. You can tell by the way the girls whisper about him when he walks in school that they want him. It makes me jealous, but not for the reason people would think. Good hunting partners are hard to find. What do you want to do, I ask. We can hunt fish or gather. Let's fish at the lake. We can leave our poles and gather in the woods. Get something nice for tonight, he says. Tonight, after the reaping, everyone is supposed to celebrate, and a lot of people do, out of the relief that their children has been spared for another year. But at least 2 families will put their shutters, lock their doors, and try to figure out how they will survive the painful weeks to come. So that's the end of this session of reading The Hunger Games. I love you guys, my little subbies, or just people who even watch it to the end of the video. So please leave a comment, subscribe, and like. Not pressuring you to subscribe, only if you want to, and only if you want to know more, or you want me to have more. And like I said in the last video, comment what book I should do next. Hopefully it'll be famous, hopefully some people that know about it. Yeah. And if I don't get any comments about the next book, then, oh well, I'll choose a book myself. Maybe it'll be Lord of the Rings or something. Or like The Hobbit. If any of you know about it, even though you should, because everybody knows about it. So, yeah, see you guys in my next video, which will be uploaded tomorrow. Bye.